play ball too.
Hey, some
Basketball,
of them let their
Silly
eligibility
played high school basketball.
volleyball play take its course, and then you know.
All right, guys, go ahead.
So what are your impressions of this group, how it's coming together, and how do you feel like the pieces are there?
Really like the group. I really like the progress we're making, where it's at right now. Really enjoy being around the team. I think the staff would agree with that. Just a group that really likes each other, and like where their mind's at.
Are you enjoying being the head coach? Is it still a whirlwind?
Yeah, it's
down?
the main thing is my brain doesn't shut off in regards to just the program overall. It can be on the court, could be off the court, could be just how to strengthen the group, just improve anything. My mind's always just spinning. I used to never wake up in the middle of the night thinking about it, and now I do all the time. And I would say that's the main thing. And time goes pretty fast. It's pretty busy trying to manage what's most important at the moment, and factoring that into what I'm doing.
Who do you lean on for advice?
This one? Okay.
Who do you lean on for advice in navigating this?
I spent a lot of time in my own thoughts, and I lean on the staff quite a bit. We talk a lot, probably more than they want to at times, because I'm the type that likes to just kind of tell them the way I'm thinking, and see if they can add anything to that, or if they can tell me if my thought process is sound, and then talk to people from time to time if there's a question specifically that I feel like they can answer. So a lot of time in my own thoughts, walking and trying to think through things.
What was your pitch to retain some of your key players from last year's team? Obviously, with a coaching transition, there's uncertainty. People might look for the portal or other things. What was your pitch to keep those players?
I really didn't have a leg to stand on as far as, I haven't done anything yet, or we haven't done anything yet. But just they know how special this place is. The girls that have been here, the athletes that have been here, and one of my things that I feel a big responsibility for is giving them a tremendous college experience, and a big part of that is the basketball side, and I kind of made a promise to them that I was going to give them everything that I had on that side. At some point, some of our results or what we do on the court will be something that we can sell, but they know how special this place is, and they know what it can get to. And that was kind of the primary pitch to everybody. And I want, Coach Judkins, one of the things that he encouraged me to do was focus on taking care of the players and let everything else run its course. And I think that's been great sound advice that he gave me in this new role. And I've tried to do that. And I think that overall college experience, whether it's activities we do as a team or how we do things on the court, I feel a big responsibility for that, and let them know that I want to give them. And granted, basketball is a huge part of that, right? Probably the biggest component of it. But I wanted to vow to them that I was going to give them everything I could as far as that college experience is concerned.
Been an assistant for 3 years in the Big 12, right?
This is our third year in the Big 12, yeah.
Okay. How prepared do you think this team is to take on that challenge of playing in the Big 12?
It's going to be interesting to see. The league kind of turned over quite a bit as far as, year one, it was just a challenge. Hey, everything's new, the travel, the teams, the style of play. Year two, there was a lot of continuity returning from the previous year, especially at the top of the league. And a lot of turnover has happened between last year and now, where teams that had been together or had a lot of experience playing have everybody's reloaded or revamped in some way. But but it's a new league. I mean, some of the teams at the top lost quite a bit. And it'll be interesting to see what the league actually is as we get into it, as the season starts. Feel really fortunate with how much production we have coming back relative to the rest of the league. And looking forward to the challenge. But it's going to be, with time we'll know what the league is a little bit more than we knew coming into last year to this year. I think it's just pretty new looking at some of the rosters. A lot of new faces.
What kind of impact are you expecting from the new players on your team?
Yeah,
From freshmen to
sure, yeah, and we get a couple of injured players back from last year as well. Honestly, I think everybody's capable right now of making an impact. There hasn't been a distinct separation, at least in my mind, as far as who can come in and contribute with the group. And some of the newcomers, very much so in that conversation. See glimpses of really good potential, and it gets the staff a little excited from some of the newcomers. And I think currently I like the idea of our depth. I don't know if we can go 11 deep like the men did last year, but like the idea of playing a little bit more than we've played in the more recent past.
You bring up the men's team. We've heard a lot about the men's side and the numbers that have been thrown out there, whether they're true or not, the NIL money that they've invested in that roster. Do you feel like your roster and the resources that you have are competitive in the Big 12 to really navigate this thing, not only this year, but the years ahead?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what everybody else has or is doing. I feel really good about the way we've been supported through now Brian, but also the university, in a sense that I feel like we can be competitive with the resources that we have. Feel great about our group and what we're able to compile, given the timing of the change and everything like that. And BYU's first-class athletic department, and the expectation is to operate that way. And yes, it's finite. I mean, everybody wants as much as they can have of that 20.5, but we feel real fortunate and focus more about us than, hey, what does this school get in and what do they offer, that kind of thing. So feel good though.
What are your, how close are you to maybe feel on what could be your starting lineup? Like, how do you feel like you got?
We talk about that quite a bit. Every so often we'll the staff will just say, let's go, come put up your 5 on the whiteboard or your 6, your top 7. So we talk about that quite a bit. There is a lot of similarities with where people are at least in the, feel pretty good about that. And like I said, there hasn't been a distinct separation. It could go a myriad of ways. We're still getting a few people back rehab-wise into practice and seeing how that changes. And just with some of the new people, how fast they can pick things up, because it's a new place, it's new verbiage, it's new technique, it's new challenge, But like our group, I think you could see, a huge combination of starting lineups, as we enter the season.
How will Delaney be different this year than she was last?
How will she be different?
How will she be different?
She's going to be 1 year older and wiser. She's worked really hard with us this offseason and with Team Canada. She's been working really hard. That's all. I'll just leave it at that. She's going to have a great year. And I think she'll embrace, that target that probably is going to naturally be on there with some of her, I don't want to say accolades, but what she did last year. And there's been some pretty good progress made by a few of the returners, and that's exciting to see. And it's been pretty consistent. So she'll have quite a bit of help, whether it's returners or newcomers, but she'll be just fine.
How challenging was it to retain her? I mean, because I'm sure she probably had interest thrown at her, I'm sure.
You'll have to ask her that, how close she was. I've always had a great relationship with Delaney. We've, I've known the family for quite some time, and we had lengthy conversations about it, kind of what I saw for her individually, but also for the group and what this place can be. And so she likes her time at BYU, and I think she's enjoying it. She likes the competitive nature of the Big 12. Obviously wants to do better than we did last year. Wants to be way more competitive, and we both believe that we can. And but no, had great conversations. Always had good dialogue the whole time through. And whether I was going to be here or not, I always expressed to her that I feel like she should wear BYU blue and take on the challenge of the Big 12 here at BYU. And I think she likes that challenge.
You guys beat out some power conference teams to get Lara.
Yeah.
What does she bring to the front court?
Yeah, she's one thing that translates, in my opinion, in my experience, is rebounding. Okay, she's a fantastic rebounder. When she's not fatigued, she's as good at offensive rebound. I won't say lower and gusting good, but she has a knack for rebounding the basketball, especially at the offensive end. She just got a desire. She sees it off the rim pretty well. A little bit more athletic and rangy than probably in years past, and we'll use that, some of her strengths to help us. I think she has a tremendous feel for playing in the two-man game or the pick and roll with Delaney or any of our other guards. That's a great piece there. I think she can steal a couple baskets a game just running the floor.
Do you feel overall this team's got better size, more athleticism than?
I think we're a little longer and quicker than in years past, which I think allows for a little bit more options defensively. I think we can be a little bit more aggressive in some of our defensive coverages because of that. We lost quite a bit. We lost, I think, second, third, and fourth leading scorer. So we're going to have to find ways to make up for that and improve there. But I'll mention the depth again. I think we have more and can do a little bit more aggressively because of that, and sub a little bit quicker than maybe we have in the past, and use that to our advantage.
Your point guard position's in a bit of transition. Do you see one or two people playing that role, or is that more of a?
Yeah, we really, aside from designating somebody who's getting the outlet after giving up a basket, they're kind of all in the same boat. Anybody that can get a rebound is going to push the basketball. If they have a pass ahead, the expectation is to throw it ahead to your teammate. Delaney naturally rolls into that spot just with the season that she had. But we got a couple others that are very capable of playing the quote-unquote point guard position, and feel pretty good about that.
Last year when you were running the offense, you guys were pretty open about how much you wanted to take a lot of threes.
Sure.
Make a lot of threes. Kind of like a certain Spider-Man back in the day when he was here. I think, is that still a big emphasis?
Yeah, it's just where the game's at. I think it's a competitive advantage we have. We have a really good shooting team. If my metrics are right, I think we jumped about 5% last year in the three-point frequency number. May be able to squeeze that again out of what we're doing. And I want to be opposed to that. Now, granted, it's not like we're going to just take nothing but three-pointers, but it's such a valuable shot, metrically speaking, that the more paint touch sprays that we can get for open threes puts us in a lot better spot, offensively speaking. So we love the three ball at BYU.
What were your goals with piecing together the non-conference scheduling? What were you looking to kind of put together?
Yeah, with that, speaking with a couple of people that are heavily involved in some of the, at least helping the Big 12 program schedule and the analytics behind it. Basically, if you schedule to go 13-0 or 12-0 or 11-0, you're not scheduling hard enough. So we feel like we have several challenges in the schedule, but also some games that we felt pretty good about as well. So a good balance there, and we got a pretty tough multi-team event in the Virgin Islands with some really good competition. So feel good about our schedule, and that's kind of how we approach it. We want to schedule that if we go 13-0, that we didn't schedule hard enough. So.
Did you want more power conference teams though?
We get 18 in the conference season, but now with the exhibition games being able to be played in front of fans, you may see some of that. Just want a good combination of high quality teams, whether it's Power 4 or good mid-major programs or whatever, and find a balance of home and away. We have quite a few challenges here at BYU. The Sunday play, it's not a challenge, but when we don't practice on Sunday, we don't want to play on Monday. So it takes 2 days away, essentially, of when we're going to try to schedule games. The other thing is, and it's been this way for a long time, but after the Thanksgiving holiday, they do Christmas around the world in the Marriott Center, so we can't be in the Marriott Center. So you go on the road for a multi-team event, and guess what? You can't come back to the Marriott Center. So finding that balance of, hey, we've been out of the Marriott Center for too long versus we need to get home and get in our own beds and get into class and get back into the routine that we're comfortable with. That's probably the biggest challenge, those two things, as it pertains to scheduling. Other than that, you can find the games that you need to.
Will you have, just to follow up, will you have exhibition games against some power?
Not this season.
Okay.
We have a scrimmage on the road, and then we'll have an exhibition game against a non-D1. So.
There's been a lot of talk about the roster retention that you were able to put together when you took over. Didn't hardly lose anybody to the portal in your promotion, but I feel like the staff retention was maybe just as big. Like,
Sure.
John's coming back, although in a different role. You bring back J-Lo and Kehlani, and Josh is back, and promote Dallin.
I think that speaks to this place, the uniqueness. A lot of the people within the program, staff included, really feel great about this place, this university, what it stands for, how we align with this place or what it's done for us in our life. And the Big 12 doesn't hurt that either, right? Competing at the highest level. So in that, we want people to be here that want to be at BYU. And we need to fit those people just as much as they need to fit us. And I think everybody fits in that circle. And in my experience here at BYU, the people that embrace this place for what it is, in its uniqueness, they're the ones that have a lot of success on the court. And I think you see it across all the athletic teams at BYU, and the ones that have had consistent success, I feel, embrace this place. And, in their own way, and we'll do it our own way as well, but people want to be here with this program, and they know how special it can be. And I think that speaks more to the retention of anything than anything I could have done. Some of the girls were here, they grew up BYU fans, et cetera, on the staff. You have former players or former coaches or people who have been here and understand, like, this is a really great place to either work, play, be a student athlete, and the world's just, starting to figure that out.
Is reaching the NCAA tournament the goal?
Of course. There's high expectations. I mean, in the landscape of sports right now, women's basketball on the women's side of things is premier sport, right? Now, there's some great sports at BYU, but in a broad scope, women's basketball is kind of now leading out in front as it pertains to college athletics. And we need to match that, and we got to make strides, in a lot of different areas, but we want to play in the NCAA tournament and make a run in the NCAA tournament. and we're not going to focus on that. But yeah, that's where we want to go. I think for us, there's so many things that we haven't done yet, at least recently, that there's so many, data points as we climb the mountain, still something from Brian. He talks about, I'm going to go down this path with you, or I'm going to climb this mountain with you. There's so many things. I mean, we haven't won a game in the Big 12 tournament, right? We haven't finished in the top half of the Big 12. So there's all these little things, notches that we need to, and as we climb the mountain along that path, some of that will happen naturally if we can put a resume together that warrants the NCAA tournament.
Last question.
You get to keep those 2 wins you got in